Hi, thanks for joining me at the Underground today. So, I wanted to get into a little bit more about household and consumer debt, which I talked about a little bit in my last video. Recently, famed economist Dave Rosenberg went on CBS and had a few things to say about his opinion on household debt. Now, Dave Rosenberg is a contributing writer for the Globe and Mail. He's a chief economic strategist, and he also has a newsletter called Breakfast with Dave. He is consistently off and on a lot of the news channels out there, the mainstream news, and he really tells it how it is a lot of times. And it's surprising that they actually keep having him on, but it seems more and more lately they're getting real economists on the mainstream, like him and Peter Schiff, but people just aren't opening their eyes. So basically, what he had to say is, it's terrifying. Consumer debt, credit, and auto loans are a debt bubble in plain sight. They're on the verge of crashing our economy. 16 trillion in household debt and the soaring debt puts Americans in a precautious position to weather the headwinds and shocks ahead. So he's been putting a lot of this information out on his Twitter feed lately, and he said he's hoping to actually scare other economists straight. But the consumer debt bubble we're in is so big, it's just too late to stop the coming recession. So this article goes on to say that if Dave Rosenberg's figures are correct, U.S. consumers took on $2 trillion in household debt in just 2 quarters since June 2019. And the massive expansion of credit over those 2 quarters is just unbelievable. I mean, that is a massive amount of money for us Americans to put on our shoulders. And, he says it points to, the Fed's easing as a cause. And because the Feds are easing and saying that there's less risk of a recession, people are going out and spending this easy credit that they're getting. And I talked a little bit about that too in my last video, how they're easing the credit standards to keep this going because they need us out there spending, and they don't care where we end up in the end. So this is a Fed probability of recession chart. And you can see in the past that after we hit a peak, it drops down, and that's when the recession usually hits. The gray lines are where the recessions are. So just like in the dot-com bubble crash, we peaked, fear of recession was there, the fear starts going away, and then boom, that's when it hits us. So we're getting to this point to where more people just really need to open their eyes and see what's out there. It's all over. It's obvious that things are turning down. It's quite clear this isn't the best economy ever, and there's a lot of manipulation out there. And you really need to start preparing for you and your family's sake, just to be on the safe side. Maybe it'll be a light recession, but the longer we build this bubble, I find it hard to believe that it's even going to be a regular recession. This is going to be something we've never seen before, and it's going to be scary. So this chart really shows us how blind the masses really are. While CEO confidence is hitting near record lows, our consumer confidence is still near record highs. And, most people will literally probably have to go bankrupt, crash and burn before they see and realize there's problems in this economy. They're literally going to have to get, lose house and home to open their eyes and say, oh my God, what happened? When this whole time, they could be getting prepared and getting ready, and everything's out there. You just gotta go more than that first layer of what you see on mainstream. And don't even take my word for it. Look into some of this stuff yourself. I'm not an economist, so I might not be explaining some of this the way you want to hear it. But I'm at least trying to do my part and help wake people up. Try to show people that there's a lot of manipulation out there. And the fact that we have, near record high consumer confidence is really scary because that lets everybody know that the mass majority of Americans are not prepared and are not getting prepared for this and don't even see the warning signs or think anything's coming in the near future. So you can see on this chart that as the Fed injects funds into the market, asset prices are rising right with it. It's just blowing more air into this massive bubble. And when this one blows, it's not going to pop, it's going to explode. It's obvious that, a lot of this money is just going into the pockets and bank accounts of the top 10%. It's not really making its way into our economy. It is just inflating asset prices and making them look more valuable. I mean, you could see right here the resemblance that as the Fed's balance sheet grows, so do the prices of assets and stocks right here in the SP 500. And once again, none of these injections, the billions they're putting in, aren't making it back to the economy or to the average consumer or American like me and you. And that's a lot of problem, with them injecting all this money. It's not helping. So please, everybody, do a little bit of homework. Look into this if you're unsure. Get your preps in order. Get your essentials, your basic commodities together. Get some financial assets in line, hard assets, gold, silver. And, start getting prepared. Just, do your homework and get ready. Or you might end up, looking like this by the end of next year or the following year. And, who knows? Maybe this recession isn't going to hit this year, but it is coming. Make no mistake. It is definitely coming, and it's going to be a really scary one. So, please subscribe. Please hit that like button. And please, everybody, keep prepping. Take care.